Yo. So it's been a minute. But this is what's going on with me, man. I can't really get into too much details, but at no fault of my own, got into an accident. Okay. And, safe traveling distance is supposed to be like looking at the 10 seconds ahead. You look at the mile marker. When they pass it, when you see the ass end of whatever vehicle you're behind pass it, you start counting. As long as you count to 10 and you're at that mile marker, you should be good. But this guy clearly wasn't doing that and just ran clean in the back of me. They've already accepted 100% liability, so it is what it is. So I took this time off, man, trying to just take care of myself. Right now I'm just out in the truck, just starting her up, because it's been sitting for a while. And it is what it is, man. So just be mindful and safe out here. And I try to do it, because when I was working with Schneider, man, I used to be like, man, like every quarter, you're going in there taking these computer tests, but it's good, man, to be refreshed, and a lot of things stick with you, like the maintenance, going in and getting your maintenance done, getting your vehicle looked at. Schneider wants you to do it every quarter, like, you know what I'm saying? So where, the DOT law is once a year for your vehicle inspection, man. So it's just a lot of things, man, to be mindful of in this trucking game, and just make sure that you're safe and the people around you are safe. Everybody's trying to make it home, or make it to their destination, and it is what it is. Just be safe. Thank God I was able to make it out of it alive. Like I said, I'm not going to get into too much detail about me personally and my property, but I will and can say this again: it was not my fault. Somebody hits you in the rear. What can you do? So, with all that being said, we move on to another topic, which is it blows my mind, man. But the way of life, it just seems like, you ever hear the saying that one man's trash is another man's treasure? I'm gonna switch that up a little bit and say one man's pain is another man's pleasure. And what I mean by that, take a look at these natural disasters, okay? And this is going along with trucking for truckers, okay? Listen up. Take a look at all the natural disasters. For example, you had the hurricane that just hit down in Florida. And I by no means am saying, oh yeah, I can't wait for the next opportunity so I can make $1 off of somebody else's pain. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. At the end of the day, all right, trying to get this APU going. At the end of the day, we're all out here trying to make a buck. And I'm not preying on victims and oh, please let another hurricane whip through. No, not at all. But when that does, you need to have your face into place. And FEMA pays, man, take whatever the standard rate is and basically times that by like 2 or 3 or 4. So there was a FEMA load, power only, and there were at this time only about 4 of them left through this one brokerage. And I tried to call as many people to get on it as I could, and I wish I had like 5 or 6 trucks to cover. Well, it was 4 loads to cover all 4. They came at me, and look, and here's another thing. Like, if you just sitting at the house and you really ain't trying to work, just go on and post your truck up. You never know what you might get. So they hit me up. Then we got this load. I was like, oh, no, power only. I'm good. He's like, well, hey, it's a FEMA load. It pays good. I was like, oh, FEMA, say no more. Thanks for saying that, instead of just hanging up and going to the next one, right? But we're at desperation now because this load had to be picked up, I think, by like 11, and it was like 6 o'clock, man. So it's like he ain't had too much time, especially if you had the deadhead out there, which I was like 2 hours away. So I'm like, okay, come on to entertainment. All right, FEMA load, $3,500 to go down, power only now, to go from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, down to Marianna, Florida, 600 miles, give or take, 600 miles. So at 3,500, you would have been at $5 a mile, and if you deadhead, you might have been at like close to $5, like $4.50 or something, right? I thought that was decent, but we're talking about FEMA, and we're talking about natural disaster. We're talking about relief. Now, we can care all we want about helping other people, but it ain't now one of y'all out here, unless you unless you are on, that's gonna do that for free. Am I right or wrong? The brokerage ain't doing it for free, right? So everybody got to get paid. Now, I told the dude, listen here, man, this is a FEMA load. I know y'all getting at least $6,000 on this. I know you are. Oh, man, you know, man, I wish, yada, 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 right? So I said, listen, well, I'll do it for 42. Hold on one second. Okay, yeah, we can do it for 42. I knew then, man, they really getting 60. There's no way you're going to take that quick. Okay, yeah, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he didn't even say, hold up. Okay, 42 it is, right? So, so I'm like, dang. So I tried to call my mans. I said, listen, man, there's a FEMA load going on. I know they're getting about 6. Call this dude number right here. He's already expecting your call, but tell him you want 5, because once he sell you 5 for 5 and you got 2 trucks, that's $10,000 for you. Once you get 5, then I know to go back to him, because I ain't signing nothing just yet. I know to come back to him like, look, man, you gave my man's 5. Like, what's up? So he called me back like, oh, I got him off for 4 apiece. I'm like, man, I told you 5. Well, I ain't want to hit him up. So I went back to the dude and was like, look, man, something ain't setting right with me. I need $5,000 on this. You know, matter of fact, I said I need 55. He said, man, tell you what, I'll give you 5 and I give your boy 48. I said, all right. Now I had to call my mans back like, look, while you sitting there taking kibbles and bits, which really ain't kibbles and bits. I mean, it's a power only load. Hook up to it and go drop it. Then as soon as you get there, and it's FEMA load, so you know, if you know anything about FEMA, you're not getting pulled over by DOT for nothing. Law violation, speed, none of that. Weight, none of that. You got a FEMA load, bro, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? It's emergency load, must get there. So we can run how we want to run. Get it there. It ain't like as soon as you get it there, they're going to take it, just go on about your business, right? You're done. You bobtail home. All right, so me and my mans, we out of North Carolina, so I had to be on that, right? So, you know, dude, like, I'm going to throw you 5, I throw your boy 48. Just like that. So, man, it's like, you know, you got to keep your ears and eyes open for these natural disasters, because there's room for you to get some play. And then when the dude sent me the BOL, guess how much he really got paid from FEMA? $6,200 on that load. So every load that they had, $6,200. My man said the same thing. People that was there, other truckers that was there getting loads, was saying the same thing. Yeah, my thing said 62. I like, you don't mind me asking what you get for it? $4,000, $3,500. I'm like, wow, bro, you left a lot of bread on the table. I showed the dude the Raycon. I got 5 bands. So I'm saying, man, you know, and I'm not even trying to work like that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So, hey, I mean, again, my heart, my prayers go out to those affected, because, man, down there, you know, what was that, like 2 or 3 days ago? It looks like a movie, man. It looked like something on a movie. Like, all the storefronts is just, I mean, I heard like 150-mile winds was coming through there. So, hey, if you from that area, man, whoo, hey. But at the same time, it's like, I got paid. So it's like, now I'm kind of like trying to stop the inner demon in me from like, okay, is there another natural disaster coming? Because I'm trying to eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be a jerk, right? Praying on somebody else's downfall. But again, man, one man's pain is another man's pleasure. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Straight facts. So, with all that being said, you know, still, you know, out here trying to make $1. The rates is low. I've been asking some of the other YouTubers, and shout out to you guys who've been giving me some feedback, because I did step deck in flatbed just a little bit, but not enough to say I'm like an expert on it. But as far as it being in my own authority, what I'm noticing is that the rates for step deck and flatbed are really stepped, especially when you get into the oversized, is pretty much where the reefer used to be at. You know, I'm reefer gang all day, but the flatbed, hey, I got to get out there with y'all, man, because those rates are pretty good, especially when you start getting into oversized. You know, and after you pay for the permit, like some of these permits may be $600 or so, you're still winning. You know what I mean? You're still getting $4, $5, $6, $7 a mile on some of these lows, man. I've seen one that was paying like $10 a mile. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not afraid of work, you know what I mean? And some of us out here, including myself, need to be a little bit more active versus just sitting in a truck all day, bagging up to doors and waiting to get loaded, you know what I mean? You know, the belly is really, you know, gonna start growing, and you're gonna start noticing your britches is getting tucked up underneath that roll. Now, if you got that roll, if you got that roll, you understand what I'm saying? In a minute, you see them old men be having their pants pulled up above their navel. Yeah, because if they don't, it's going to go up underneath that roll, and that ain't a good look, bro. That ain't a good look. But, hey, to each his own. We got to stay active in this truck, man. We gotta get around, move your legs, as you can start getting pitting edema where, you know, because you're sitting so long, man, you're not getting outstretched. All that fluid is just gathering at your ankles, and now you walking around like a 50-year-old woman, okay? And you don't need to be that. You don't need to be that. All right, so, hey, with all that said and done, man, you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, we all already understand one man's pain is another man's pleasure. Again, I did get into an accident. It wasn't my fault. So hey, I'm looking to be monetarily compensated for my losses, man. It is what it is. I got to have that this evening. You understand me? So we will, you know, we do have an attorney on that. We will be getting in that ass. You better believe it. You know, because I'm not playing. I'm touching. I'm kicking 40 in the face, and I know that, you know, what you feel. You can get into a fight tonight, and then tomorrow you don't feel it till maybe 2 weeks later. I've gotten out the truck, man, and 2 weeks later my ankle was hurting. I'm like, man, why my ankle hurting? I had to think way back to what, you know what, you did miss that step and twist your ankle, you know, getting off the truck. This happened years ago. So I mean, it is what it is. That type of stuff happens no matter how old you are. You know, sometimes things have a delayed effect. So if you're ever in an accident, man, if it's your fault, or if it's not, but definitely if it's not your fault, call an attorney, man, or definitely pursue the charges right away. I mean, the claim right away. Call that insurance company, let them know you opening up a claim against them. Do what you need to do. You rather be safe than sorry. You rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And so that's what it is. Hey, man, I see a lot of guys out here that's doing, you know, I'm all over the place, but I see a lot of guys out here doing very well, man. I'm not going to sit here and say that there's one path to success. It's all about how do you define success, and understanding that, you know, success is just not, oh, when I get married or when I have $1 million in the bank and yada, yada, yada. If that's what you want to say, okay, cool. But I more so look at success as knowing that you're on the path to whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. So it is $1 million, well, that you on the path to getting that million, you are successful. Okay, once you get the million, then do you stop being a success? You know what I mean? Because if you spend $1, that million, you ain't got $1 million no more. So then you set more goals for yourself. Unless you're some aesthetic kind of guy, you know, a monk or something like that, can do without all the material trappings. Hey, my hat's off to you. I'm all with you on that, man. I ain't got this tattoo in the middle of my forehead for nothing, so I know a little something about, you know, the intangibles of life. Because if all you got is money in the bank, you poor. You ain't got nothing. You know, true love, true success and happiness, I feel, my opinion, comes from love, man. It comes from family members, your children, your loved ones. You know, when you shedding a tear, how many people is gonna come to your corner and wipe that tear, you know, or pat you on the back? Now, you know, you may not need all of that, but it's about, having love and being loved, man. You know, because it's a very lonely world if all you got is money. You know what I'm saying? Then in your mind, you know all these people anyway is around you just because you get money. But I digress, man. That's just my opinion. But there's a lot of path to success. There's guys getting a fleet of trucks, and some guys just want that dream truck, that Peterbilt or that W900, and they're okay staying in their lane, and that's what they want, and that's fine. So I'm not one to say, all right, you got to go out and, you know, do it this way or do it that way. Do it however you want to do it, however you feel is success for you. I don't think that there is one particular way or one blueprint to success in trucking, whether you're buying your trucks outright or you're leasing them. I mean, I don't think that there's one path. It's all about how do you define success. So because there are some companies, I think Smith, they still holding on to their old trucks. Look at TMC. TMC, they just now, last year or so, just upgraded and got those. They was running those long nose Pete's for, man, how long? They got millions of miles on those Pete's. So not every company is, you know, turning and burning, you know what I'm saying? But that's a way that could work for you. I see some guys on YouTube that's doing it big that way. Man, hats off. Other guys are just getting their trucks and paying them off. I see some guys on YouTube doing that. So, you know, it is what it is. But I can say, man, that I had a guy tell me that, you know, you inevitably you're going to need all trailers, you know what I'm saying, if you're really trying to corner the market and be an asset. So when I leave the house, I want to be able to look at reefer rates, dry van, and I want to look at some flatbed step deck and say, all right, I think flatbed is where I'm going, or no, I think reefer is the way I'm going to pull today. And then having two trucks where I can always switch up if I want, or hire a driver to work it as long as you're qualified. I'm not at that point right now where I want to hire somebody, man, but hey, scared money don't make money, and you know, I may eventually opt to do that, but it's good to have that as an option. But step deck with oversized and even some flatbed with oversized is paying very well, considering the times that we're in right now with the market. Hopefully it goes up. But hey, man, we're going on about 17 something minutes, almost 18 minutes. I'll let you guys go, just to say, hey, man, all's well with me if you ever gave a damn. All's well with me, man. Like I said, I got into an accident, you know, and you know, so I've been trying to, you know, handle all of that stuff. Still not done with it. Like I say, it's still an open case, and you know, just wanted to touch base on being safe, keeping the safe following distance, at least be able to see the person in front of you, rear tires, if they're in a truck or a four-wheeler, be able to see their rear tires. If you don't see that, you're following too close, man. And then also, unless you're in stop and go traffic, then we already understand that. But then also, you know, too, man, understand that you define success for yourself. Don't let anybody else do that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I met people who are fine making $100,000 a year, and they come at me like, well, how much money do you want to make? You know what I'm saying? So some people are just fine where they're at. So hey, man, my hats off to all of you guys, all you truckers, man, out there. Be safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace and love.